Hi, my name is Cathy Sabater. I'm a mortgage planner and proud veteran, and we're here again with Chris Cherico, a wonderful tax preparer to answer some of our questions. Hey, Chris.
Hi, Cathy. Thank you for having me.
Wonderful. Hey, so we hear that, right? Federal has extended when you can file until May 15th. Can you explain the difference between business and personal?
Absolutely. So for business returns, the deadline to put in an extension was March 15th. So if you haven't filed your return or submitted an extension, you need to get on that right away. In regards to personal returns, you have till May 17th. It was the 15th, but that falls on a weekend, so it bumps you to the 17th in order to file or submit your extension for your federal return.
So, and does that have anything to do if you owe money or not? Does that just allow, does that extension for federal for personal help you?
Correct, yes. So your deadline of the May 17th extends not only your filing date, but also your payment date for the federal.
Okay. But for business, that's not the case, whether you file an extension or not, correct?
Correct. So the business side of it, when it comes to the 1120S, which is also called the S Corp or the 1065, that was a March 15th deadline from that perspective.
Right. Okay. And if they didn't file it, then they have to file it. They get they're fined a fee or something's added to their.
Correct. It's approximately $210 per month per shareholder until they get that file submitted. So you really, at this point, it's been less than a month, but they really need to get on filing it. Otherwise, those penalties will go for a total of a year.
Wow. So the extension for businesses stops that fee from being charged.
The extension, correct, would stop that fee. That's, yeah, it's a failure to file penalty. You are correct.
Okay. So for you business owners, hopefully you filed your extension or you filed your taxes, because that's basically what we're here to do, is to provide you a resource. Hey, let's talk real quick about personal, because we have this stimulus, and so now with all this new technology, how are the questions, right? Because we talked about this before in regards to now we're actually filing our taxes. So now we're listening a little more, or we've already filed waiting for our money. So the stimulus check, how, when you go online or they talk to a professional like you to get their taxes done, what's happening with that?
Sure. On the tax return for the 2020 tax year, I'm required to ask you, did you receive a stimulus check in 2020? And did you receive one in 2021? And it's not taxed. They're just tracking it and using the tax return as a mechanism in order to get you the stimulus check that you are owed by putting on there what it is you did or did not receive.
Right. So then if they filed and they hadn't received their stimulus check, then filing their taxes is going to hopefully expedite them getting their money.
Correct. That would be the outcome of that is reflected in the refund that you're going to get.
Right. So refund, not an actual check.
Correct. Yeah. So you are, yeah. So it's going to alter the outcome of the return, which will adjust for the stimulus check you didn't receive.
Got it. Okay. And then same thing with unemployment, right? Because this is a new thing for us, right? The stimulus plan says what? So if you get unemployment, what's taxable, what's not taxable?
They changed that last week to allow the first $10,200 of any unemployment you received is not taxable. So everything above $10,200 is taxed.
Right. And you had quickly mentioned something about donations. That was something that was new for the personal side?
Correct, yes. Normally, for charitable contributions to be deductible on your tax return, you have to itemize. But this year, $300 worth of charitable contributions will have an impact on your tax return, reducing your tax liability. So if you gave anything to charity this year, some money to your church, you're supposed to have a receipt for it. But with that said, that will impact the taxable implications of your tax return. So definitely let your tax professional know that you did give to charity.
Great. And then on the business side, when we're talking about, you have the different sole proprietorship, you have LLC, and then you have S Corp. We were briefly just discussing the differences as far as, because they have to pay self-employment tax, right? And they still have to pay Social Security, right? They still have to pay these things, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So the self-employment tax is 15.3%, and that's composed of 12.4% Social Security, and that's taxed up to $137,700. And then the other portion of that 15.3% is Medicare, which is 2.9%. And that doesn't stop. It just goes to a lesser amount once you crack $200,000 worth of W-2 income.
Right. And then as far as S Corp is concerned, that you had mentioned there were like two things in regards to what needs to get done in order to utilize that to maximize your tax benefit, should you not want to go self-employed, sole proprietor, or LLC.
Yeah, so being an S Corp, you're supposed to pay yourself a reasonable salary during the year, as well as you're filing 941s, which are your payroll tax, and that's done quarterly. You pay it monthly, but it's done quarterly as a 1120S.
So when they give themselves a reasonable salary, that means every month, that's different from taking distributions. That means every month they're getting a set salary, and then that's what they can actually, because that's what we use to qualify them for income, right? And then you have it so that if you get distributions, which is totally different, right, from having a salary. Can you explain that part a little?
Sure. The distribution part is a K1 that you get at the end of the year above and beyond what your salary. And my example on the monthly part was just because I pay myself monthly, but it's supposed to be based on your payroll as to when you pay the 941 payroll tax. But yes, there's a difference between the W-2 portion and the distribution, which is above and beyond what your salary is.
Okay, well, great. So if you guys have any other questions or concerns, let us know. Chris, how can they reach you?
919-302-0336 or guardiantaxsolutions.com.
Thank you so much. Stay safe.
Thank you, Kathy.
Okay.